Hey guys, what's going on? It's me Lilly, and today I would like to give you an update on the situation here in Europe. This time I'm reporting from my greenhouse because actually in the car it's too hot. So now finally the hot summer starts here in Europe. We had a really cold long winter and also a cold spring. But finally summer is here, so we are good. Now there will come even stricter austerity measures in Austria. We have now an excessive deficit procedure with the European Union because our country is performing so badly. And of course all of the austerity measures will be burdened on the taxpayer again. Yeah, and this is where the cat bites its own tail, because you can raise taxes to a certain amount, but there's a point, a break-even point, a bad one, where companies will just close the doors, they will leave the countries, then you got more unemployment, then you get less tax revenue for the government, and then they will try to raise the taxes again, which will put even more burden on the last taxpayers of the system, and then the system is endangered to collapse because at some point you just cannot take more. Then politicians will try to take what you own, or they will try to introduce an inheritance tax. And this is what's in the talks now in Europe. So the left parties always want to introduce an inheritance tax, but also what the EU has planned is a register about what you own. And there are plans about it. Sometimes there was too much criticism, so they backed off. But there are plans that they want to know what kind of house you have, if you have a flat, a car, what kind of car, if you have shares, a share portfolio, if you have how many bank accounts, yeah. So they want to know everything about you. They also want to know what kind of gold reserves you have, yeah, if you have gold or silver, because once they know what you have, they also can tax that. So now a lot of people are saying this is going too far and maybe this is just a conspiracy theory, but there are examples of governments in Europe who are changing their laws to first of all know what you have, and second of all they think about how they can tax your property. Here some critics are saying that the planned asset register of the European Union is a step towards expropriation, and this register could also be misused as a powerful instrument of control and surveillance of their citizens. So here they are saying that seizure of citizens' assets is by no means new. Throughout history there have been repeated instances of government measures leading to expropriations. This occurred in various forms. The gold ban in Germany between 1923 and 1931. So this is one example from history, but this was long ago, right? So this will not happen again, right? Wrong. It's happening again, maybe a little bit different, but it's happening. So now let's take a look at Italy. Italy is to tap undeclared gold to plug the budget hole. The Italian government needs money and wants to tap private gold holdings to get it. Many Italians own undocumented gold. And now the government in Italy has come up with a scheme to entice people to declare their gold holdings, to have them appraised and then pay 12.5% tax on their value. So if I got gold coins from my grandmother and I just kept them and didn't sell them, I now have to declare the value of my gold coins in Italy to the government, and then I have to pay 12.5% taxes even though I haven't sold them yet. This is crazy. So this is going on in Italy, but also we now have the same problem in the Netherlands. It's not gold, but it's shares. So if you got a portfolio with a couple of shares, you haven't sold them because you're not a trader, you just save money, you want to have an extra to your pension, maybe you have your portfolio for 20 plus years, so you've made a lot of profit but you haven't sold anything yet, so the profit is not realized. But now the Netherlands, they want to tax the unrealized gains on shares. And They want to take 36% of your unrealized gains. That makes the 12.5% in Italy seems like nothing. 36%, crazy. So if you got, you know, a good portfolio with a lot of good shares, and you now should pay 36%, how should you pay it if you don't have the money? Because you haven't sold the shares yet. So that actually will force you to sell your shares so you can pay the 36% taxes. That's crazy. This is just another form of expropriation, right? 36% annually. Every year, if your portfolio makes profits, unrealized gains, they take 36% even if you don't sell anything. So actually, this is completely wrong. It's so wrong because if you make profits and if you sell the shares, it's part of your income. So the income tax applies. But if you don't sell the shares yet, it's not part of your income yet. Yeah, it's completely crazy how governments are twisting around the definition of income. If you want to support my channel, the best way to do so is to buy a Odenwolf knife. Odenwolf is a really awesome company. They make high quality knives like this one here for a really good price. And this one happens to be a Scandinavian camping knife. And I really like this knife. I always have it in my car. And if you check out their website, you will find many other great knife models. And with my discount code Lilly10, you will get a 10% discount. So if you want to support my channel, make sure that you check out the affiliate link in the description below. Okay, the Strait of Hormuz is still blocked. There was a ceasefire, but then the ceasefire ended quickly. Then some ships went through, but now it's blocked again, so we don't get a lot of oil from this region. And now slowly all of this has consequences for Germany. In this article they are saying that Germany is on life support. Germany's risky kerosene trap. Lufthansa is preparing for the worst. Due to the kerosene shortages, 40 jets could be grounded. And that makes, of course, ticket prices very expensive. Also, we got new economic forecasts for Austria and Europe. One top economist is believing that we will soon have new price hikes when it comes to oil prices, gas prices. He was recommending to fill up your car today. The economy has become significantly more volatile. Everyone is saving money, working longer hours. Ultimately, everyone has to contribute to saving money. Also, housing costs are exploding in Austria, and most people, they will not have a chance to build anything anymore. Rent prices are exploding, housing is becoming too expensive. Even the middle class is struggling to make ends meet. The tax burden is crushing, leaving nothing behind after taxes. German farmers warn of rising food prices. Exploding costs for diesel and fertilizer as a result of the Iran war are putting farmers under strain. Also, there's a YouTuber, a German YouTuber. He's a comedian. You probably already know him. He's called Radical Living. And he has made a video about why he is leaving Germany. And in this video he describes how everybody who is working is getting ripped off with taxes. And he also complained that if you work nothing, you can make a really good living from the state with social welfare. And he just doesn't want to have this anymore, so he is leaving the country. And from now on, he will pay his taxes somewhere else. So it's a really good video. If you don't know him yet, check him out. His name is Radical Living. He also cited some newspaper articles, like this one here, where he describes that most young people, they don't dream about owning anything anymore because they simply cannot afford it. So here it's saying we have completely given up on our dream of owning a house. And that's the reality of a lot of young Germans. High costs, little new construction. Very many Germans can no longer afford their own home. So yeah, really bad situation for Germany. Also, we got some warmongering going on in London this time. Some general is saying we have to get ready for large-scale conflicts. So for war they always have money, but they don't have money for the normal folks, right? Also, North Sea crude oil is more expensive than ever, and the ceasefire is not relieving pressure on the market. Attacks on Saudi facilities and the situation in the Strait of Hormuz are driving up oil prices. Refineries are securing shipments at record prices. European airports warn of systematic kerosene shortages. After almost 6 weeks of war, remaining stocks appear to be nearly depleted. There's a high risk of systemic kerosene shortage if shipping traffic in the Strait of Hormuz is not resumed in a stable and significant manner within 3 weeks. Also, there are fuel protests rising in Ireland. Protesters have blocked access to a major refinery and fuel depots. Farmers, lorry drivers and agricultural contractors began a series of demonstrations. Protesters have blocked access to major oil refineries. Because of this, more than 100 petrol stations have run out of fuel. Also, what is happening now in Austria, which is really concerning, is that the gold price is so high. So now thieves, they break into cemeteries and they steal the jaw of corpses. 12 heists already. Gold tooth thieves break open the jaws of corpses. 7 districts already affected in Austria. This is happening in Austria in 2026. Also, what has increased is siphoning of trucks, and the perpetrators come in the night, they empty out an entire truck, and there's a lot of gas in a truck. So that has been seen more often, especially in Germany. Also, a lot of chemical companies fear for their existence. They got everything at stake because of the Iran crisis. The chemical and pharmaceutical industry is not only Germany's 3rd largest industrial sector, but also systemically important for many other sectors of the economy. Budget forecast for Austria doesn't look too good. The Iran war is wreaking havoc on the markets. Higher gas and oil prices are slowing the economic recovery. Also, there are changes when it comes to electric vehicles from Volkswagen in the US. They are saying that the German automaker Volkswagen is halting production of the ID.4. It's only electric car manufactured in the USA. The company cited the challenging market environment for electric vehicles in the US as the reason for the move. Also, food is too expensive. In Vienna, this woman was complaining that she only has 1 meal per day. Job loss and prices are skyrocketing. Struggle for daily survival. Katalin from Vienna has counted every penny to manage her everyday life despite job loss and rising prices. So this is the situation in Europe right now, and it doesn't look too good, like always. And it doesn't seem to get better, like always. So yeah, crazy times. And my personal opinion is the best thing that we can do now is to financially bug in, to save money, and to prepare for bad times, worse times even, because it can always even get more worse than it is right now, right? Anyway, so this is it for today, and I really want to thank you for watching, and stay tuned till next time. Also, our healthcare system sucks. So in this article you can see a child, a toddler, he cannot breathe properly, and he needs a nose surgery, but he has to wait 1.5 years to get this surgery done. So now the parents have said they will pay for a private surgery to enable their son to breathe properly. This was unthinkable 15-20 years ago in Austria. This child would have a surgery within a month, and it would be paid for by your health insurance, by your general health insurance. But now people have to pay health insurance, and then they have to pay private insurance or private surgeries as well in order to get the procedure done. A lot of hospitals will now get closed in Austria, and a lot of doctors will not get employed anymore. Closing hospitals in times where we have a growing population because of migration is just insanity. It's reckless. It's reckless, and this is going to cost lives. Also, here there's an article which is saying Austrians are paying more than ever for our healthcare system, and we get a really bad service for this. Prompt appointments with doctors are increasingly only available at an extra cost. Meanwhile, the healthcare system is costing us more than ever before. Yeah, then we also have more and more companies filing for bankruptcy. Sometimes it's companies which have existed before Second World War, They've managed to get through the Second World War, but now in 2026 or since the pandemic they are going bankrupt because the environment that companies have to operate in has become increasingly hostile. There's high bureaucracy, there's high taxes on workers, so why should you have a company anymore? Here you can see an article. The end of a life plan. For many, the dream of owning their own home is now dying. Social dynamite. Germans increasingly perceive home ownership in their region as barely affordable. This is particularly worrying given the already low home ownership rate in the country. So this is why a lot of Germans are moving abroad, and Austria is still cheaper when it comes to property, owning property, than Germany. There's another tax race, again by the European Union. Now climate tariffs are being introduced on refrigerators and washing machines. Also, they are thinking about cancelling holidays because this is costing the government a lot of money. So we Austrians, we love our holidays, and this is not a very popular measure. Also now, industrials are pushing the pension age further back. So the pension age in Austria is 65, but now they want to push it to 68. So a lot of Austrians don't believe that we will get a good pension anymore, if we get anything at all. So this is the situation in 2026, and the only way out of this is you need to earn more, either by working more or by getting a better paid job to survive all of this. This is financial survival. You got to earn more so you can pay more taxes. Yeah, you got to earn more so you can pay the private insurance for your child. All right, so this is it for today. I really want to thank you for watching. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to give you an update on my veggie garden. And until then, thank you for watching and stay tuned. Till next time.